How's it going, guys? It's your boy Gregorio Jimenez, and I'm here just coming in hot with a quick little voiceover about, just a little bit of like behind the scenes photography. This was kind of just a really quick street photography shoot I did. I kind of just got a couple warm-up shots. I started off by, taking some really aesthetic pictures of some trash cans. And I just, not a big fan of like getting people's faces. I'm more of like, getting like a subject in a photo, but not quite, portrait style. This was kind of just like in the parking lot of where I parked right in downtown Los Angeles. This is, I think, somewhere, like near Broadway, I want to say. Yeah. But anyways, I'm basically from here, this is just my walk from this parking lot all the way to the ramen shop nearby. But anyways, these first couple shots were just kind of just to warm up, but I think they were kind of some of the better shots of the night. Over here, I kind of get my eye caught by like, this flashing light and, the subject and like the shadow that it's kind of casting, like almost silhouette-y, but not quite. And I just think that's kind of interesting how she fits like just right into like the garage door. It's kind of awesome. But anyways, yeah, then I kind of walked around down where the lights were, like turn the corner or whatever, and I kind of see like this person, but as soon as I go in to take the photo, they kind of just move right out of frame, and then they kind of start like staring me down. I thought that was pretty funny, but I find it interesting, all the leading lines and everything else. I just kind of wish they would have been a little bit closer to the center, but it's street photography. You can't really control it, because if not, then it's basically portraiture after that, in my opinion. Yeah. Let's see. This next shot, I think is kind of fun. It's basically, it's not like the funnest shot out there, but it's kind of just, I just think it's interesting. You've got like a person and like a truck. And, I don't know. Hold up. I would say let's go back to it, but like, never mind. For this one, I was kind of just trying to show off like, the 1.2 aperture of the lens. 1.4 aperture of the lens. It's the Rokinon 85mm 1.4 on the Canon 5D Mark II. Not the greatest setup for low light, but I think for this particular situation, it being like LA and with how lit up it was, I think it was kind of nice. I later found out that right there, the reason why that whole road is blocked off is actually because they were shooting a commercial for Toyota. I think something about like one of their new like SUVs. So I wasn't able to cross, so that's one of the reasons why like I cut like that whole middle section. I started actually talking to that guy that I like just passed by right there, but apparently they were saying that they had just crashed like a drone with like an RE Alexa or something like that. It's kind of nutty, and that's why I was like looking up here, because I was like, oh shoot, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, after that, I tried to snag this shot right here, but I kind of screw it up. I kind of leave a little bit too much like headroom on the top, but I still kind of like I probably should have just cropped it at this point, but I kind of like, the subject like just in the middle, and then everything kind of just like leading towards them. And then I kind of played around a little bit with like the hues of like the blues and stuff like that. Yeah, I think setup wise, I think I told you guys I'm running, for this shoot I was running the 5D Mark II with the Rokinon 85mm, and then I've got a GoPro Hero 6 silver or white just mounted on top. Yeah, from here, the lights, I just really am a big fan of like the lights that the Orpheum has on it. And then from here, I kind of try to just snag a couple more shots just to get some foreground, but also some like foreground, midground, background, I guess. The majority of the background is kind of just blurred to oblivion, but also like darkened out because of, the high contrast nature of the photography that I'm going for. Lately I've been seeing a lot of that whole like matte look where people kind of like raise the shadows and then kind of like, it's very like low contrasty, and lately I've been just trying to go like the opposite of like what a lot of people are trying to do, just for funsies, just to see what happens. Find it a little bit more interesting. Yeah, right here I was trying to get a little bit more of like the people and the thing and the lights and everything, and then their surroundings, but I just think it's kind of, I just don't think I executed that very well, especially with that lamppost being right above them. But also that lamppost being there gave them a little bit more light, like above them and everything. I try again for that. And I think I like this one a little bit better. Or fuck, is that the same picture? I put the same picture on there. Oh, well, like, it's too late now. I'm already doing the voiceover, like, screw it. Yeah, this is just still on the same way to, like, the ramen shop and stuff. But I kind of just, you know, try to snag, like, 1 or 2 more shots, and then basically after this, it's kind of like all null and void, because I don't think I snagged that many more pictures. I ended up getting, like, really hungry, so I was like, alright, fuck it, I'm gonna go grab food. Yeah, I don't know if this is something I'm gonna keep doing, the whole like behind the scenes photography type thing, but I'm thinking it could potentially, you know, work out. I did it really high energy with that other shoot with, I think I called it Slow Bolt. That's the name of the guy's Instagram, who's 370Z we were photographing. But yeah, this is a bit of like the opposite take to that. And both of those shoots were actually done on the 5D Mark II, except for the ones that are, except for like the wannabe rollers. Those were shot by my buddy Brian, and they weren't, I don't think they were actually trying to go for rollers. I could be totally mistaken here. I thought they were trying to go for like more like the car like in action, and they kind of wanted to see the background, especially since we were shooting at the mall. Temecula, and everything was kind of like super empty because of COVID and everything getting like shut back down and, you know, stuff like that. So I think they were trying to accomplish that sort of look. I could be totally wrong. I kind of just ended up jumping on the shoot because they were doing it, and I was like, well, can I tag along? I'm not doing anything. Yeah, I think this is probably the last picture of the day. I could be wrong here. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, this is basically like almost to that freaking ramen shop. Yeah. Yeah. That's basically it. I don't recall taking any more pictures. I probably did, but what do you call it? I don't really have the time right now to go through all of this. But anyways, I have been Greg Jimenez, and if you guys like this sort of stuff, I could probably keep doing it. Could potentially end up like upping the quality a little bit, just because this was shot in not very optimal way. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see y'all on the next one. Bye. Oh shoot.